the Diamond action is finally underway. State semifinal softball, including a program first for the Terriers of William Byrd. Class 4 semi, Byrd battling Great Bridge this afternoon. And the Terriers were trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth when Lexi Powell provided a spark, roping the double to right and urging her teammates on when she reached the bag, and it worked. Brianna Hodges going Rip City to play Powell. It was 2-1, and after a sac fly, we've got a new ball game at 2-2 after 4. How about the Terriers D? Shortstop Megan Grant taking flight for the dive and out behind second. 2-2, bottom 7. Terriers load them up. Morgan a card right there, and this ball is deep enough to score a tagging Sydney Brown. She's down dirty and safe. 3-2. Terriers of William Byrd battle back to advance to their first ever state final.
Every game this year, even in regions, we started slow. We get down a couple runs, and they've learned. You know, the game's not over. They just battle hard. They're just a battling bunch, and they did it again today.
Big deal.
It means everything. It means everything. These kids hadn't been there. You know, last year was as far as we got. Never had a state title in softball. We want it bad.
Class 4, other half of the bracket, Woodgrove shuts down Grafton 7-0, so Byrd will get another shot at the team that's been their nemesis. Title 11 a.m. at Moyer. Class 3 semifinal, Liberty jumping all over Warren County from the get-go. First inning, Mackenzie Flood. A little rip to left to plate Riley Taylor. 1-0 Minutemen in this one. 2-0 now, and it's Paige Naples at the plate. She's going to left. Little wrap and slap to plate Grace Dooley. 3-0 Liberty after 1. It was 3-1 in the 5th. Liberty gets some insurance. It's Dooley again, the rip back through the box to plate Riley Taylor again. It's 5-1 in the 7th when Millie Thompson closed it out. Liberty will play for the state championship tomorrow.
Just do the same thing tomorrow that you did today. You know, I told them just enjoy it tomorrow, and whatever happens, happens. But, you know, being loose is definitely going to be a key to giving us the best chance.
Yeah, I think being here last year and, like, coming back this year, it made us, like, we knew what we were up for. Like, we knew, like, what the stands were going to do. Like, we were ready for the competition, and we just had to bring it.
All right, Turner Ashby 11-0 winners over Skyline. That's Liberty's opponent tomorrow. Title game 9 a.m. Packed house for the Class 1 softball semis. It's Auburn versus Riverheads. Tied 1-1 in regulation. We're in Radford now. Top of the 8th, Riverheads' Emily Waters up to bat. Pop fly to the outfield. All right, nice play here. And Auburn looking to rally. Tori Boyd up to bat for the Eagles. Huge hit to left field. Nearly out of the park, off the wall. A double trouble right there. She is fired up, and you know what would happen next. Abby Wilson, she connects, and here comes the winning run. Yet another walk-off finish. Auburn gets the win 2-1 in 8 innings. Their opponent will be the Panthers of Rappahannock, who needed 8 innings to get by Northwood 5-4. Baseball now will start in Class 1. Auburn looking for their second title in 4 years to Calfee Park. Auburn hosting Riverheads in that Class 1 baseball semifinal. Top of the 6th, tied at 1. Gladiators' Adam Painter setting it to left field. That's going to bring 2 runners home and a 3-1 lead. But bottom of the 7th, more drama, more dramatics from Auburn. Bases loaded. Trevor Miles launching this one into left. Down the line, tough play. Nobody can get it. 2-run score, and the Eagles advance to the state championship game 4-3 in walk-off fashion. Their opponent, the Lancaster Red Devils, they down PH Glade Spring 3-1 to advance. Class 2 boys from Calfee, Chatham taking on Stewart's Draft. Bottom of the 3rd, Cougars up 1-0. Chatham's Matt Arnold, sac fly, bringing Grant Reynolds home to tie it up. Still in the 3rd, runners on 2nd and 3rd. Bray Atkins coming up, line drive, And that's going to play 2 more runs. That momentum carries Chatham to the state title game with an 11-7 win over Stewart's Draft. It's the Cavaliers versus the Pioneers, Class 2 title at noon. Class 3 semifinals, Brookville facing Tab. The Bees threatening early. Jared Glinsky coming up with the double trouble. That is smacked. It was 2nd and 3rd for the Bees, but no runs here. Tab would get a 2-run home run from Connor Kennedy, led 4-0 after 6, then hung on 4-3. Tab eliminates the Bees in the state semifinals. Class 4 semifinal, Liberty Christian and Lafayette, and it's scoreless in the 3rd when the Rams explode. Gio Rivera, liner to left to plate a pair. Lafayette would play 6 in the inning and go on to an 8-2 final. That was the final, which takes Liberty Christian out of the Class 4 playoffs.